Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. MD Investor in the house. MD Investor, the channel where we talk about personal finance, setting goals, making goals, breaking the cycle of generational poverty, and living the life that we were meant to. Definitely subscribe on YouTube, MD Investor, on Instagram, MD Investor One. If there's people out there you think who could benefit and need some financial education, definitely send the information to them. Let's get into it, guys. Today's topic is going to be retirement. We're going to talk about retirement, guys. Today is National Retirement Savings Week. This week, National Retirement Savings Week, October 21 through 26. It's a very important topic, as you know. It's not like in the old days where most people have their jobs and their employers provide them with a pension that they can live on. We are on our own now. The employees realize that this is expensive to do. So we're going to shift some of the burden onto the employees, hence the 401k, okay? You contribute a little, we'll contribute a little, but we're not going to do it all, okay? It's too expensive. But we have to be responsible, and we have to grab the bull by the horns, and we got to be self-reliant. We got to be self-reliant. We know when you first start working, as with me and everybody else, in your 20s, 30s, you really don't really think about it. Retirement is such a distant, so far off in the distance, you don't even think about it. You're busy living your life, you finally got a job, making some real money, and now you're going to live and enjoy yourself, right? By the time you get to your 30s and 40s, you're kind of really in the thick of things. All of a sudden, all these expenses come out of nowhere, and your money is gone before you know it. In your 50s, maybe you begin to realize, wow, I'm getting closer than I think. Can't believe I'm here, and I have not much saved up. And before you know it, you're 60, and you're like, it's around the corner. So we're going to do this video to shed a little light on the retirement situation. October 21 to 26, like I said, National Retirement Savings Week. Trans-America Center for Retirement Studies did a study to look at the median retirement savings by age for Americans. In their 20s, they said the average American in their 20s has saved about $16,000. In their 30s, they've saved about $45,000. In their 40s, they've saved about $63,000. And as you expect, as the decade goes up, the retirement goes up. In their 50s, they've saved about $117,000, and then in their 60s, they've saved about $172,000. The question begs to be asked is that good? Well, you don't know if it's good until you compare it to the standard, right? You don't know if you're good until you compare it to the standard, right? It's like if I tell you, I got a 10 on the exam. Is that good? Well, if it's a 10%, no, it's not good. But if you got a 10 out of 10, then it's good. The suggested retirement savings by age, if you want to retire by age 67, are as follows. In your 30s, they suggest that you should have saved between 1 and 2 times your annual salary. In your 40s, you should have saved about between 3 and 4 times your annual salary. In your 50s, you should have saved between 6 and 7 times your annual salary. But in your 60s, you should have saved between 8 and 10 times your annual salary. So now we see the standard and we see where we are. For example, someone in their mid-30s, somebody who's 35 years old, making $45,000 a year, we said what actually they have saved in their 30s, they've saved $45,000. But the standard or the recommendation is in their 30s, it should be 1 to 2 times their annual salary. So you're 35, you're making $45,000 a year. You should have up to 2 times your annual salary. 2 times $45,000 is $90,000. So what we have saved is $45,000, but you should have saved $90,000. So now we see and we can compare. You have saved $45,000, you should have up to $90,000. You're halfway there. Now we can know, you're not doing as good as we thought. So sometimes absolute numbers don't paint the whole picture. Now, we see, okay, we're kind of behind as a country, and we kind of know that. We know that we kind of live up to our means and we pay everything. What you have to do and see that your retirement savings is a bill. Just like a bill for your mortgage and your rent and your utilities and your cable and all that stuff. It's a bill. It's a bill that you're paying to your future self, right? That's what it is. You're paying it to your future self. So when you skimp on it and say, you know what, no, I don't want to take all that money out. I want all my check. Give me 100% of my check. Yeah, you want to live well now, but what about the future? Okay, and also you have to think about it. Most of us, if you're fortunate enough to have a job where your employer is matching, is offering matching contribution up to a certain percent, you're actually losing money. If your employee says, listen, we're going to match you dollar for dollar up to 3% or 4% or whatever it is, if you're not contributing that initial savings, they have no obligation to match you. So therefore, you're losing money, right? If they say for every $100 you contribute, we're going to contribute $5. You're not contributing $100, you're not getting the $5. So you're losing money, okay? So the 401k, 403b, there's all these different names, 457, and even the thrift savings plan for people in the military, they're all retirement savings plan that the government have started to enable Americans to save for their retirement, and you save it pre-tax. So, for example, if say for example you make $45,000 a year, and I say you're taking home $4,000 every month, but you're contributing $1,000 to retirement, you will only be taxed on the $3,000 you're taking home. The $1,000 that you're contributing to your retirement account will not be taxed. It's called tax deferred. It will not be taxed. It will go into your retirement account and begin to grow tax deferred. You'll pay tax on it later when they begin to take it out at age 70 and a half. And this is the government incentive for you to save for retirement and help yourself. Think about it. They know that the more you save, the more self-reliant you'll be, and the less you'll be dependent on them. So they're incentivizing you to save for retirement. We're not going to tax you on this money at this time. Okay? Now, the maximum contribution in 2019 to the account, 401k, 403b, most of the 457 plan, and the thrift savings account is $19,000. That's been increased from $18,500 in 2018. So you can contribute up to $19,000 tax deferred to these accounts. And it's to your benefit. The more money you put in, the more it's going to grow, and it's going to grow tax deferred. And the earlier you start, guys, the better. I wrote some numbers down here. If, say, for example, you're putting away $200 a month, and you're getting 10% return on your investment, and you start at age 25, and you go for 40 years until age 65, you will have accumulated $1,264,815.88. That's $200 a month, guys. That's going to be taken out pre-tax. You're not going to miss that, right? $200 a month at 10% return on investment over 40 years will accumulate you $1,264,815.88 if you start at age, say, 25, right? Now, what if someone delayed and they say, you know what, I want all my money because, I like to go out on Friday, I like to drink, I like to turn it up, I like to party and all that. And they don't get serious until 10 years later. They don't get serious until age 35. They put away everything else is the same. $200 a month, 10% return on their investment, but they're only going to do it now for 30 years, right? Because they started 10 years later. They will have accumulated $452,097.59. Still a nice chunk of change, but compare that to the $1 million, almost $1.3 million that was accumulated because they started 10 years earlier. Guys, that's the difference of about $800,000 difference. That's about $800,000 difference because you waited for 10 years. So the key is the earlier you start, the better. The earlier you start, guys, the better. Do it pre-tax, have it taken out so you don't see the money, have it go in the, in your 401k account and have it be invested and grow for you. Okay, so when the decades roll over and time goes on, you say you'll be happy. Nobody ever said, I wish I'd never invested so much. I have too much money. Look at all this money I have too much money. But there's a lot of people out there that said, I wish I would have invested $100 a month, $200 a month, $300 a month. I got all my money, but I don't know where it went. Right? I got 100% of my check. I don't know where it went. It would have been better if you'd have let them keep 15%, 20%, whatever it is. You'd have been a lot happier. So there's a quick high-level video today, guys, looking at retirement, that we have to get started. We have to treat it like a bill. We have to pay ourselves first, do it pre-tax, let it grow and accumulate, okay? And we're going to be very happy we did. Like we said, guys, continue to like, subscribe to YouTube, MD Investor, MD Investor 1 on Instagram. If there's people out there you think could benefit from this information, definitely send it along. And we're going to continue to grow and learn together. We'll see you on the next video.